why does your software suck so hard? I'll tell you. If you've been in business for any length of time, you might love your business, you might love the people you work with, you've got some really awesome systems, some awesome processes and whatnot that really just completely make you stand out from the competition. But your software just sucks and everybody hates it. Your employees hate it, you hate it. Let me tell you why. So you've got your software down here that you run your business on, right? So the software is your foundation stuff, it's your commodity stuff, maybe it's your email, your CRM, all this kind of stuff. But what really differentiates you in the market is what is really how you succeed, how you win. You know, that's what makes you unique. So you've got your unique selling proposition, your USP, and unfortunately the software down here at the commodity level isn't moving with you. So you're bridging that gap with manual processes that really just aren't working for you in any way, shape, or form. So you've got Excel spreadsheets, you're doing all this kind of stuff, and all your employees and whatnot are just trying to fill with this software that's really not meant for what makes you unique in the market. So you got to start by fixing that. All right, last time we talked about why your software sucks. And the reason of that is because you've got all this commodity software down here that's running your business, but you're really making your unique, your awesomeness with what this software doesn't do. You're bridging that stuff with manual processes and spreadsheets and all the kind of fun stuff. So you say, hey, Simon, don't worry, it's cool. We're going to add this new piece of software up here. Maybe it's marketing automation or something like that. And it's fantastic, and none of our competitors are doing it. Hey, that's great. Just curious, are you using all of it? Well, no, we just use this one little piece of it. And everything else kind of falls down here still. You're still living down that world. And you go through this cycle a few more times, and you've got another pieces of software, and you're using this of it, and you're using this of it. For all these different types of software that are cool, they're awesome, they're new. None of your competitors have them, but you're still bridging all your gaps with manual processes because you're not using all these things to do. Maybe you don't like the way they do it, you like the way you do it here. Maybe your processes don't really accept everything this piece of software does. So you're just getting to the next evolution of suck. So in the next video after this, we'll get to evolve even past that level of suck. We'll get there. Today we're going to talk about the third level of suck. So if you remember level one, you've got all these different software products running that are commodity type software, you're running your business on it, you're making yourself unique through stuff that you're doing above the software. Level two of suck is you start adding some more niche products, maybe marketing automation, etc., but you're still dependent on this stuff down here. And of course, you're only using parts of these pieces of software because you're still doing this down here. So you get to a point, you're still growing, you're still doing great stuff. However, you get to a point where you just can't grow anymore because you've got all this time spent going between these different pieces of software, and you and your employees and your business is just starting to die because of that. So you have the choice to make of which level of suck you want to move to next. You have three choices in this tier. Today we're going to talk about the first one. First one's called ERP. So ERP is a stupid acronym, Enterprise Resource Planning. Really, it's software that runs your entire business. And when you first think of it, it's like, oh, this is fantastic. I've got this new software that can run my entire business. Unfortunately, this software where you're doing a smaller level ERP like an Infor or an Epicor, or larger ones like a NetSuite or an SAP, they're super expensive. And guess what? So not only are you spending buku bucks on that software, but you need a plan to also spend about 6, 12, 18 months doing it. So 6 months to 18 months, we'll say. And that implementation time is obviously time is money. That's going to cost you another probably 3 to 4x how much you're spending on this software. So you've got quite a bit of additional dollars spent during that time. And what's happening during this 6 to 18 months is that you're still evolving as a business. So everything you're building against to try and wipe out all this stuff is going to get you to where you were 18 months ago, because that's when it's finished. And you still have a huge laundry list of stuff you need to get done. So fast forward, your processes are better than 18 months ago. Congratulations, you've achieved the third level of suck. All right, the fourth level of suck. We talked about how you got all the way up to the third level suck of ERPs. The fourth level suck is my beloved custom software. So back in the days when I used to build custom software, I loved it a whole lot more than I do today. But custom applications, custom software really is an amazing thing.
One of the reasons I like it more then is because I could charge by the hour of doing that. And that's kind of one of the reasons why it sucks. So similar to when we develop the ERP, when we're building custom software, we go through our defining process, and we go through implementation, then we go through testing, then we go through deployment and all these kinds of stuff. That's kind of a traditional waterfall, or you can do something like iterative and sprint developments and agile. But really what it comes down to is that when you're building this kind of thing, it takes a lot of time, a lot of effort. And if you're doing agile, it means you're a lot of iterations. And let's say that process, kind of like with ERP, is not a short one. So let's say that's another 6 to 18 months of development that you're putting into this process. Again, paying by the hour, either for your employees, your software developers, or an external firm. It gets super costly very quickly. And just like when you're implementing ERP, you are actually modifying your business processes as this is going on. So the software developer, that's the hated scope creep, and the business person is like, well, I need this for my business. So you find yourselves 18 months later with software that truly does exactly what you wanted it to do 18 months ago, but still isn't doing what you're doing today. But now you've got a huge technical debt. You need to maintain that software, you need to build upon that software, and you're gonna find yourself in the exact same spot you are with ERP, the 4th level of suck. All right, you're sitting at the 4th level of suck. And if you remember, that's when you've got your ERP, your custom software implemented. That's your level 2s and your level 3s. And now you're sitting in level 4, where you're 18 months behind where you really want to be, but at least you kind of control your own destiny. Unfortunately, you've put a mountain of cash into this solution. So you've got not only money that's invested in it, time that's invested in it, but you more than likely have teams of individuals that all they do is support it. But you're still 18 months behind where you really want to be. So you're going to start wanting to add things into your application. So now you're entering the 5th tier of suck. So you've got a mountain of cash down here, and you're starting to add functionality. And that functionality can be added here. Maybe that's a 6-month endeavor here. Maybe it's a 9-month endeavor. Maybe there's an easy one that's a 3-month endeavor. But really what you're doing is investing more and more in this platform, and it takes forever to do it. And none of your business partners on the business side really wants to wait for these teams to build this functionality. So what do? Well, they go find their own little solutions out here. And you got this little solution up here doing something that the business really needs, and they can get it in a week. And then they start going over here because everybody else is doing that kind of stuff. And you have all these disparate solutions sitting up above, and you got people trying to force stuff back down into this big money sinkhole down here called your ERP solution. Now, what this is starting to look like for the people who've gone all the way through the series is this is starting to look awful like that 1st level of suck. So the 5th level of suck is when this turned into a big circle. So big enterprises find themselves in this level of suck basically forever. They get to experience all level of sucks all at the same time. That's level 5. Good luck. All right, the 6th layer of suck. So if you recall, you're sitting here at level 5, you've made this big investment into your customer, your ERP system. You've probably got teams of developers or technicians working on it. Your business folks are starting to get frustrated with the turnaround times of technology here, so they start going out to disparate systems and building their own kind of thing. Unfortunately, this layer of suck is really reserved to the enterprise, so companies that are hit by regulatory or compliance or financial restrictions, public companies, and also companies that were unfortunate to hit with ransomwares or some type of security issues and whatnot. So really what this level of suck is all about is when the power of the technological infrastructure is handed down to it's basically a single point, the technology team. So what they're going to try and do, they'll effectively remove these other pieces of software. Every decision is going down to this tech team. So that tech team starts getting bigger, gets getting stronger, and unfortunately starts getting more power in the organization. So the business partners, where up until this point they've been able to do some things on their own and really drive what they need down here, what they're finding is that the technology teams, the engineering department, become the departments of no. So they can't get what they want to get done because they're not prioritized enough, or the tech team doesn't want to work on it, or they've got different priorities that are going against it. So you start seeing this cultural divide between the business folks and the technology folks. So really the sixth level of suck is really the beginnings of a cultural suck within a company, where you get this divisiveness between the technology teams, the business teams. And unless you jump on that right away, that's just going to get bigger and bigger, and you're going to find yourselves hamstrung by what your own technology teams will support. And that's level 6.